Prediabetes is not a verdict, it is a signal. Your body is telling you that the system that handles glucose is working harder than it should. The encouraging news is that the levers that steady blood sugar are everyday levers. What you put on the plate, when you move, how you sleep, and how you manage stress. This episode is a calm, practical guide to shifting your routine so the numbers drift in a friendlier direction. No fads, no fear, no perfect rules, just a plan real people can live with. Think of blood sugar as traffic on a highway. Glucose is the cars, insulin is the traffic police, and your muscles and liver are the side streets that accept the flow. In prediabetes, too many cars are entering at once. The officers are overworked, and the side streets are underused. We will relieve the rush by spacing the entries, creating exits after meals, and making those side streets wider with regular movement. The goal is not to be strict. The goal is to be consistent. Start with the plate, because it is the lever you touch 3 times a day. Steady plates share 3 features: fiber, protein, and healthy fats. Fiber slows digestion and keeps the traffic calm. Protein steadies appetite and provides building blocks your body needs. Healthy fats add satisfaction so cravings fade. When these show up together, carbohydrate foods become easier to handle. The same slice of bread behaves differently when it walks in with company. A simple pattern works. Let vegetables and leafy greens take up half the plate. Choose a palm-sized portion of protein and add a small to moderate portion of whole grains or starchy vegetables. Finish with olive oil, herbs, lemon, or vinegar, so flavor does not depend on sugar. This is not a diet. It is a construction plan for a calmer metabolism, colorful, satisfying, and repeatable. Carbohydrate quality matters. Refined grains behave like sugar once they pass your lips. White bread, pastries, regular crackers, many boxed cereals, and white rice turn into quick traffic that overwhelms the system. Trade them for slower vehicles: oats, barley, quinoa, buckwheat, brown or wild rice, dense whole grain bread, and root vegetables roasted with olive oil. You are not eliminating comfort. You are upgrading the engine so the ride is smooth rather than jerky. Protein is your quiet ally. Aim to include it at each meal so hunger stays polite, and the next snack becomes optional rather than inevitable. Good options include eggs, plain Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, chicken or turkey, fish, tofu, tempeh, beans, and lentils. A tuna salad with olive oil and lemon, a bowl of lentil soup, or yogurt with walnuts turns a wobbly afternoon into a steady one. Healthy fats carry flavor and help you feel done. Olive oil, avocado, nuts, seeds, olives, and fish bring fats that cooperate with your goals. They slow digestion in a good way, support heart health, and make vegetables taste like food you want, not chores you endure. Measure with a spoon, not with a free pour, so portions stay friendly without turning the plate into a heavy lift. Beverages quietly shape the day. Sugary drinks sprint through the system and demand an insulin sprint to match. Switch to water, sparkling water with citrus, unsweetened tea, or coffee without syrups. If you love a little sweetness, use a small splash of 100% fruit juice in sparkling water. A hint of flavor without a sugar wave. A glass of milk or an unsweetened calcium-fortified plant milk can double as a small snack because it brings protein. Fruit is not the enemy. Whole fruit comes with fiber and water, which makes it a different story from juice. Pair fruit with protein or fat to keep the blood sugar curve gentle. An apple with almonds, berries with yogurt, or pear slices with a smear of peanut butter. Dried fruit is dessert in disguise. Treat it as such, or mix a small amount with nuts so it stops at a handful. Breakfast sets the direction. A pastry launches a roller coaster. Oats with walnuts and berries launch a calm river. Other steady options include eggs with spinach and tomatoes on a slice of true whole grain toast, plain yogurt with chia seeds and fruit, or a leftover vegetable bowl with beans and olive oil. If mornings are rushed, prepare overnight oats or a boiled egg the night before, so the plan survives a busy kitchen. Lunch benefits from simplicity. Build a large salad with mixed greens, beans or grilled chicken, cucumber, tomato, olives, and olive oil with lemon. Add a slice of whole grain bread if you want it, but make it a companion, not the star. Alternatively, make a grain bowl. Quinoa with roasted vegetables, chickpeas, and a spoon of tahini lemon sauce. Lunch should leave you satisfied and clear-headed, not sleepy and snack hunting. Dinner is your warm landing. Roast a tray of vegetables with olive oil, salt, and pepper. Choose a protein you enjoy and a small portion of whole grains or potatoes. Season boldly with herbs and spices. Flavor beats sugar every time. If a sweet finish is a habit, keep it small and pair it with protein, like yogurt with cinnamon and a few walnuts. Snacks are optional tools. If a snack keeps you from arriving at dinner desperate, it is a good tool. If it turns into a grazing habit, it is a problem in disguise. Choose snacks with protein and fiber so they function rather than tease. A piece of fruit with nuts, yogurt with chia, cottage cheese with cucumber and tomatoes, or hummus with peppers. Skip snacks made of air and sugar. They raise appetite more than they calm it. Movement after meals is a secret door. A 10-minute easy walk lowers the spike from lunch or dinner because muscles act like a glucose sponge. You do not need a tracksuit or a stopwatch. You need a short stroll around the block, a mall lap on cold days, or a few minutes of stepping in place by the counter while the kettle boils. This single habit, practiced daily, changes the shape of your glucose curve. Strength training is a second lever with long-term power. Muscles are storage for glucose in a way that does not demand insulin to do all the work. 2 or 3 short sessions a week. Sit to stands from a chair, wall push-ups, and rows with a light band. Widen the side streets on our highway metaphor. You will feel stronger in daily life, and your numbers will often move in a friendlier direction without fanfare. Sleep is more than rest. It is a nightly tune-up. Short, choppy sleep makes the system more insulin-resistant the next day, which means the same breakfast creates a bigger spike. Protect a consistent bedtime, dim lights in the last hour, and keep the bedroom cool and quiet. If snoring is loud or you wake unrefreshed, ask your clinician about checking for sleep apnea. Solving it helps energy, mood, and glucose at the same time. Stress hormones ask your liver to release glucose as if you were sprinting from danger. When stress is constant, that extra glucose has nowhere to go. Install tiny breaks, 2 slow breaths before you open messages, a short walk between tasks, a minute of shoulder rolls after phone calls. It is not about becoming a monk. It is about lowering background noise so your chemistry stops living in yesterday's emergency. Hydration matters more than headlines admit. Dehydration concentrates blood and can make readings look worse than they need to be. Keep water within reach at your desk and by your favorite chair. If you forget, tie drinking to existing routines. A glass after brushing teeth, a glass when you sit down to read, another with each meal. herbal tea counts. Alcohol does not help this particular goal. Label reading is a quiet superpower. Focus on the ingredient list and the added sugars line. If sugar or syrup is in the first few ingredients, put it back or treat it as a dessert. For breads and cereals, look for the words whole or whole grain first in the list and at least 3 grams of fiber per serving. Short lists with ingredients you recognize are friends to your future numbers. Restaurant meals do not have to derail progress. Water first. Ask for dressings and sauces on the side. Choose grilled or baked options rather than fried. Trade fries for extra vegetables. Share a rich dish or box half to take home. A short walk afterward seals the deal and often makes you sleep better too. Travel is manageable with a small kit and a plan. Pack a refillable bottle, a light resistance band, and a list of friendly airport foods. Plain yogurt, fruit, salads with oil and vinegar, or simple sandwiches on whole grain bread. On arrival, take a brief walk before you unpack. Do your short strength session near the hotel desk and a few joint circles to unwind. The place changes. Your routine does not. That is how stability survives trips. Grocery shopping becomes easier with a standing list. Vegetables you actually eat. A fruit you like this week. Beans or lentils for several meals. A whole grain you cook without thinking. A protein you enjoy. Olive oil, lemon, and herbs for flavor. With these in your kitchen, better choices become the path of least resistance. Morning routines matter because they set the tone. Begin with a glass of water, a short walk, or a few minutes of movement, and a steady breakfast. Avoid starting the day with sweets. The first hit often sets up cravings for the next one. Your brain will thank you with clearer attention and fewer mid-morning raids on the pantry. Evening routines matter for a different reason. Late-night eating keeps digestion working when your body is trying to downshift. Close the kitchen after dinner, and if a snack is truly needed, keep it small and pair it with protein. A mug of herbal tea becomes a calm full stop at the end of the page. Weight around the middle is stubborn not because you are weak, but because biology is conservative. Instead of chasing a fast fix, build a boringly good routine. Steady meals, a 10-minute walk after eating, some strength work several times a week, and lights down on time. The belt gradually loosens from the inside when the pattern is predictable and kind. Myths can be loud. You do not need 0 carbohydrates. You need smarter carbohydrates in sensible portions, paired with fiber and protein. Fruit is not candy. Juice often is. Low-fat cookies usually trade fat for sugar and starch. Supplements can be helpers, but none can replace sleep, movement, and a simple plate. When advice conflicts, return to the basics your body recognizes as helpful. Logging can be powerful if you keep it lightweight. Write a few lines: what you ate, whether you walked after meals, how you slept, and how you felt. Patterns reveal themselves quickly. Restaurant dinners bump numbers the next morning. Evening walks calm the night and the next day. Use your own data to make adjustments rather than guessing. If you check blood sugar at home, treat readings as feedback, not judgment. Notice the direction and the shape of the curve. A post-meal value that is higher than you like is not a failure. It is a clue. Next time, add a little more protein and fiber, reduce the refined starch, or go for that short walk. Learning happens fastest when you replace blame with curiosity. Caffeine deserves timing, not exile. Enjoy your morning coffee if you like it, but keep sugared syrups out of the cup and stop early enough that sleep does not pay the bill. If you notice jitters or cravings afterward, switch to a smaller cup or try half calf. The goal is calm energy, not spikes. Alcohol masquerades as a sleep aid but usually steals deep sleep and nudges next day cravings. If you choose to drink, do it with food, keep the pour modest, and favor nights when your schedule is relaxed the next day. Notice whether your mornings feel clearer during a 2-week break. Many people find that the experiment answers the question better than any article. If you live with others, invite them into your routine. A family salad bowl on the table, a short walk after dinner, and a shared plan to keep sweets for the weekend turn health into a group project. Culture beats willpower, and kitchens are where culture often lives. Budget and blood sugar can cooperate. Store-brand oats, beans, and olive oil are dependable. Frozen vegetables are picked at peak ripeness and often cost less than fresh. Cooking once and eating twice makes weeknights easier and prevents emergency takeout. Thrift and health are allies when you plan ahead. Medication questions belong to your clinician, but there is a lifestyle pairing that matters. Take medications as directed and at consistent times, and pair them with routines you already keep. If side effects bother you, bring a clear log to your next appointment and ask about timing or alternatives. The plan should fit your life while serving your numbers. 2 sample breakfasts, 2 lunches, and 2 dinners can run a whole week with small variations. Breakfast 1. Oats cooked with milk or water. Walnuts, blueberries, and cinnamon. Breakfast 2. Eggs with spinach, tomatoes, and a slice of whole grain toast. Lunch 1. Salad with chickpeas, olives, cucumber, tomato, olive oil, and lemon. Lunch 2. Quinoa bowl with roasted vegetables and a spoon of tahini lemon sauce. Dinner 1. Salmon with a tray of roasted vegetables and barley. Dinner 2. Lentil tomato skillet with a side of greens. If heartburn or reflux visit, adjust mealtime and menu rather than letting nights suffer. Eat dinner a little earlier, avoid heavy, spicy meals late, and take a short walk. If reflux is frequent, discuss it with your clinician. Better sleep and steadier mornings often follow a calmer evening stomach. Footwear matters more than you expect. Comfortable, supportive shoes make walks longer and more enjoyable, which means you actually do them. Replace worn pairs before they teach your knees and hips a bad story. A half-size adjustment or a better insole can turn a reluctant walker into a regular one. On days when energy is low, shrink the target. 5 minutes of walking after meals still helps. A can of beans warmed with garlic and olive oil over greens is still dinner. A short breathing pause still lowers stress hormones. You are building a habit that survives real life, not auditioning for a perfect day. If you enjoy structure, choose 2 anchors per day. Morning light and a steady breakfast, a post-lunch walk, and water before coffee. A dinner that looks like a garden and a screen-free hour before bed. Anchors hold the day in place even when schedules wobble. If you hate structure, design your environment instead. Put the fruit bowl where you see it first. Keep nuts portioned in small cups. Store cookies higher than your tallest chair. Place your walking shoes where you trip over them. You are not relying on discipline, you are leveraging friction and visibility. Social time is glucose care disguised as pleasure. A walk and talk combines movement, connection, and mood support in one block of time. A cooking night with a friend turns vegetables into a shared project rather than a solo chore. You are allowed to enjoy the process. Your numbers usually reward joy. If you grew up with messages about bad foods and cheat days, consider retiring that language. It creates a secret club feeling that drives binge and repent cycles. Use plain words instead. Today's plate is steady, satisfying, and simple. If a dessert appears at a celebration, enjoy a small portion slowly and return to normal at the next meal. Consistency wins over purity. Morning sunlight deserves a second mention because it solves more problems than it is credited for. It anchors your clock, stabilizes appetite hormones, and sets you up to feel sleepy at a reasonable hour. A few minutes on the porch or by a bright window, even on a cloudy day, is not optional decoration. It is part of the engine. When advice online feels extreme, ask a practical question. Will this habit be easy to keep on a busy Tuesday in January? If the answer is no, it is probably not your habit. The right plan is boring in the best way. So doable that it shows up again tomorrow without a dramatic speech. Your body keeps score quietly. After a few weeks of steady meals, short walks after eating, some strength work, and earlier nights, you will notice changes that are easy to miss if you are waiting for fireworks. Energy steadies. Cravings quiet. Clothes fit more kindly. Mornings feel less like a negotiation. Numbers follow behavior even if they take their time. There will be setbacks, travel, holidays, illness, stressful seasons. Treat them as detours rather than dead ends. Return to your two anchors. Do the 10-minute walk after meals and keep dinner calm. Forgiveness makes routines durable. Punishment makes them fragile. If you like a project, pick one kitchen upgrade this month. A better knife that makes vegetables faster, a sheet pan for roasting, or small jars for pre-portioned nuts. Tools that reduce friction create momentum, and momentum changes biology. On restaurant menus, words like crispy, battered, and loaded usually mean a whirlwind for glucose. Words like grilled, roasted, baked, and steamed usually mean a gentler ride. Add lemon or vinegar at the table and let flavor work for you instead of against you. Keep sauces visible rather than poured, and you control the story. If you enjoy desserts, build a house rule that fits your life, perhaps sweets on weekends or at celebrations. Making the rule explicit removes daily negotiations. When the sweet day arrives, choose something you truly like, sit down, and enjoy it slowly. Satisfaction beats sneaking. A small weekly review helps. Look at your notes and circle one habit that worked and one that needs help. Double down on the win and adjust the other. Maybe lunches were steady, but evenings drifted late. Move dinner earlier by 15 minutes and set an alarm for the lights down routine. Tiny corrections keep the ship on course. If you live with prediabetes and another condition like high blood pressure or joint pain, you are not managing separate lives. The same habits help all three. Vegetable-forward plates, short walks, calmer evenings, and consistent sleep reduce pressure, ease joints, and steady sugar. One routine, many benefits. Teach what you learn. Explain your new breakfast to a friend. Share your post-meal walk habit with a neighbor. Offer a favorite bean recipe to family. Teaching locks the habit in your own mind and builds a small community of people moving in the same direction. If you use a glucose meter or a continuous monitor, treat the data kindly. Do not chase every wiggle. Look for trends across days and weeks. If a certain breakfast always spikes, change the breakfast. If evening walks always help, protect them like an appointment. Curiosity beats drama. Finally, remember why you are doing this. You are not your numbers. You are a person who wants energy for the people and projects you care about. You want mornings that begin without a fight and evenings that close with calm. Every steady meal, every short walk, every early light is a vote for that version of you. Prediabetes is a nudge, not a sentence. Your routine is the reply. Imagine a typical Tuesday. Breakfast is simple and steady. You step outside for 5 minutes of morning light and a short walk after the meal. Lunch arrives and you build a plate with beans, greens, and olive oil. You take a calm stroll before returning to work. Dinner is warm and colorful, the kitchen closes, and the evening downshifts. No drama, just a gentle rhythm that repeats often enough to matter. On cold days when you do not want to go out, use an indoor loop. Down the hall and back, around the table, or up and down a safe staircase. Set a playful target. 5 quiet minutes while the kettle warms. Muscles do not care how scenic the path is. They care that they got used. When shopping feels confusing, pick one rule for the week. Add a new vegetable, swap one refined grain for a whole one, or try one bean recipe. Small projects keep boredom away and build confidence. If a family member brings home sweets, treat them like visitors. Place them out of sight and bring them to the table on deliberate days. Pair a small portion with yogurt or nuts so you get pleasure and stability in the same bowl. If late-night TV is stealing sleep, change the ending. Record the show and watch the last 15 minutes tomorrow with coffee. Sleep gained now pays for the episode with a calmer morning and a kinder appetite. If stress builds at certain times, preload the day with more movement and tiny breath breaks. Walk after lunch when you know the afternoon will be tense. Put a sticky note on your screen that says, "Exhale longer." These steps are small, but they break the chain that links stress to cravings. If cooking is new to you, start with roasting. Cut vegetables roughly the same size, toss with olive oil, salt, and pepper, and place on a sheet pan. Roast hot until edges are browned and the house smells friendly. Add a protein and you have dinner without a culinary degree.